We find ourselves in a bewildering world. We want to make sense of what we see around us and to ask, what is the nature of the universe? What is our place in it and where did we come from? Why is it the way it is? These are the words of Professor Stephen Hawking. The size of the observable universe is about 10 to the power 24 meters. When we compare its size with ourselves, then an obvious question arises in our mind about our own existence and purpose of life. That is, do we have any existence? Why are we here? And where will be in future? If we think the age of universe as one day, then humans have existed for just 8.46 seconds. Though most of the organisms we see share more or less the same ratio, that is 8.46 seconds is to 1 day. But I use the word humans because of a specific reason. This has a great significance because unlike humans, no other animal or plants are conscious about their own existence. Then how do they think? This has a very simple answer. They think themselves as a part of nature. As soon as an intelligent species will start to understand and analyze the laws governing its surroundings, it will start to think itself separate from the nature or universe. And if it continues to comprehend, it will finally ask the question, why are we here? As long as humans will think themselves separate from the cosmos, then the question will be very difficult to answer. Humans or any other intelligent life has the power to understand some part of the set of laws that govern the universe. But that power indeed has a limit. The limit may be different for different intelligent life. Here in Earth, we are constantly extending the limit by increasing our knowledge. This gathering of knowledge started from prehistoric era, when we found that the sun, moon and stars, or all planets, rise in the east and sets in the west, in spite of not offering a sacrifice to any of the heavenly bodies. So they found some regularities in nature and started to analyze them, and perhaps when they compared those regularities of nature with the irregularities of their own life, they started to detach themselves from the cosmos. Beyond the limits of understanding, we leave the natural phenomena or events to the subject called probability. But that limit is only for those who tries to understand nature, not for the nature itself. For example, in case of a cubical dice, in spite of the probability of getting each face being 1 by 6, we get different faces different times. Actually, what face we will get depends on all the sets of events that is going to take place from the rolling till it stops and we find a single face. Now, analyzing all those events for us being impossible, we leave it on the hands of probability. But events are controlled by nature, by the same force of gravity, Newton's third law, conservation of momentum, etc., etc. The nature understands well what would be the score that we are going to get. Likewise, the universe itself started from a singularity before the Big Bang. The present state of universe, that is the galaxies, planets, stars, and even human beings, are a result of billions and trillions of chain reactions that started to take place from that singularity and will continue in future. So, the rolling of dice and we are both results of chain reaction, and as nature decided the score of dice, in the same way it decided to create us by continuing itself or continuing the chain reaction. We can call the chain reaction a set of accidents, a set of coincidences. But these may be incomprehensible coincidence to us, but not for the nature or the chain reaction itself. So, if the cosmos understands everything, it is obvious that it had predicted every event following the Big Bang by obeying the laws that it itself has created. It has the power to break any of its own created laws, but it never breaks them, nor allows anyone to break the laws. This picture that I recently sketched was with respect to the universe. To understand it better, a picture with respect to the humans is also needed. When did we got separated apparently from the universe? The answer is, when we became living beings. We understood it when we imagined the regularities of nature, as mentioned before. Initially, all things on earth were non-living, but again, chain reaction made it living. Perhaps a thunderbolt struck the ocean, which caused chain reaction and started to convert chemistry into biology. Again, coincidentally, there was carbon, which favored to behave a bit separately from the other elements. Hydrogen acted as carbon's friend, and the together started to form some compounds that can multiply. But was that living or non-living? They multiplied and formed us by biological evolution, which is again a type of chain reaction. Now we behave independently. Still we cannot live in isolation by avoiding interaction with the environment or nature. The energy we spend in lifting a book comes from the sun, which in turn came from the universe. The millions of carbon atoms in our so-called independent self was created far back in time and may be older than the solar system. So are we actually independent? Do I know that would I be able to finish this discussion if Big Crunch comes before that? We are a part of this universe. We don't think that the carbon atoms in our body might once existed in some other animal's or human's body. We will die one day, but this eternal self-sustained chain reaction will continue to occur. If a drop of water is made to fall in the ocean, the drop itself becomes seawater, and it is not possible to differentiate it. So are we, like small drops of nature, and one day will be absorbed in the nature itself. This coincidental combination of matter and energy, that is we, have the power to understand nature. This was also decided during the Big Bang. So the rest of the universe wants these small drops of nature, that is us, to understand the universe itself. Even have to fear death, because that is not our business, but of that chain reaction. So we do have a purpose here on this earth, and it is to know the eternal truth of the cosmos and do every work unconditionally in life without thinking about its result. We don't know whether we will be able to create a complete unified theory, the theory of everything. But if we understand that, then everyone, philosophers, scientists and common man, will be able to take part in the discussion about this cosmos. For then, we would know the mind of God, that is, the universe.